According to UNESCO, there are over 3 million shipwrecks scattered across the seabed around the world. Under international maritime and rescue law, military shipwrecks are usually under the jurisdiction of their governments, whereas nearly anything is permitted in international waters. Excavation of the wrecks will take more than 400 years, and its treasures could be worth hundreds of billions of dollars. It should come as no surprise that these wrecks are not only appealing to underwater archaeologists, these wrecks are also of great interest to treasure hunters and salvage operations, as they have the potential to create millions of dollars, provided the correct wreck is discovered. Here are 10 shipwrecks with amazing treasures. If you love this kind of videos, please subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up. Let's go into the video. 10. The Sunken Wreck. The value of its treasures are still being evaluated. Between 1200 and 900 BC, a ship floundered off the coast of Devon, in England. At the time of its fall, Babylon was still flourishing, the Hanging Gardens had not yet been built, and it was centuries before the Buddha was born. Its discovery was announced in 2010. To date, archaeologists and amateur divers have discovered 300 artifacts that weigh more than 185 pounds combined, including copper, tin ingots and some jewelries. Although not the greatest treasure ever discovered, it is significant, both because of its age, and because the artifacts demonstrate that a well-defined trade network existed between England and Europe in the Bronze Age. Scholars from the University of Oxford are investigating the find, to try to determine its exact origin, but unfortunately no part of the ship has remained intact. 9. The Laden Shipwreck. Its treasures worth are reportedly about $80 million. The Laden Shipwreck was the first Arabian ship to be discovered and excavated. Found by fishermen just off the coast of Indonesia in 1998, it has yielded the richest and largest assortment of Tang Dynasty gold, ceramic artifacts, spice jars, inkwells, funeral urns, crystals, and gilt silver boxes. Some of the more significant items includes pearls from the Gulf, rubies and sapphires, a gold cup, and a silver flask. After its excavation, the cargo was purchased by the Singaporean government, which has loaned it indefinitely to the Singapore Tourism Board. 8. The SS Central America Shipwreck. The SS Central America, also known as the Ship of Gold, treasures are reportedly worth between $100 million to $150 million. In September 1857, the SS Central America, which was carrying 15 tons of gold, sank during a hurricane. The Panic of 1857, in the United States, which in turn caused the first global economic crisis, was considerably caused by its sinking. 39 insurance firms claimed they were entitled to the gold and artifacts discovered upon its discovery in 1987, and the subsequent excavation, because of losses they had paid in the 19th century. Following legal disputes, the finding team eventually received 92% of the gold. One of the gold bars was sold for $8 million, a world record at the time. It became a very significant piece of currency. 7. The Antikythera Shipwreck. The Antikythera treasures are reportedly worth between $120 to $160 million. In the year 1900, divers discovered the ancient shipwreck, just off the island of Antikythera. The Archaeological Service of Greece launched an expedition, shortly thereafter in what was the world's first major underwater archaeological expedition. Another expedition in 1976 recovered the most significant part of the cargo. The recovered Antikythera mechanism, believed to be the world's oldest analog computer, has received so much media coverage over the years that many are not aware of the ship's other treasures. The massive haul of artifacts from the famous wreck also included coins and jewelry, glassware, pottery, wonderful statues, and even copper couch beds. One of the remarkably well-preserved statues was a classical bronze statue sculpted sometime from 340 to 330 BC, named Statue of a Youth. The entire collection of artifacts recovered is on display at the National Archaeological Museum in Greece. 6. The SS Republic Shipwreck. The SS Republic Shipwreck treasures are reportedly worth between $120 to $180 million. It went lost in the 1865 hurricane, off the coast of Georgia. It was carrying an estimated $400,000 worth of coins. The wreck was finally discovered by Odyssey, a renowned deep-sea exploration and salvage company, after being submerged for more than 230 years. To date, more than 51,000 gold and silver coins have been recovered from the site, along with nearly 14,000 artifacts, including thousands of bottles, beakers and ceramic vases. Shortly after the first excavation, a man filed a lawsuit, claiming Odyssey used his information to locate the wreckage. In 2004, a federal judge ruled in favor of Odyssey, giving them full ownership of the shipment. 5. The Bomb Jesus Shipwreck. Its treasures' worth are still being evaluated. The BOM Jesus Shipwreck, also known as Diamond Shipwreck, was discovered by geologists working for De Beers, the world's biggest undersea diamond miners. They were stunned when they discovered a shipwreck buried in the beach. After uncovering several ingots, the mining operation was stopped, and archaeologists were called in. In what some have called the find of a lifetime, they uncovered not only the oldest shipwreck ever to be found off Africa's coast, but also more than 22 tons of ingots, 6 cannons, swords, thousands of gold coins, traced back to King João III, and more than 50 elephant tusks. After some investigation, it was ascertained that the ship was the BOM Jesus, a Portuguese ship which sailed in 1533 and disappeared off the coast of West Africa. 4. The SS Gersapa Shipwreck. The SS Gersapa treasures are reportedly worth between $150 to $200 million. It sunk in 1941, after being torpedoed by a German U-boat. The ship carried a total cargo of silver, approximately 7 million ounces, worth £600,000 at the time. In 2010, Odyssey Marine Exploration won the exclusive salvage contract for its cargo, after the UK Government Department of Transport put out a tender. Under the terms of the contract, Odyssey carries all the risks involved but retains 80% of the pieces salvaged. A year later, the wreck was discovered in the North Atlantic, approximately 4.6 kilometers below the surface. Odyssey recovered 48 tons of silver, which is just 43% of the lost treasure, but had to stop the project due to weather conditions. The complete weight of the haul makes it the largest known metal cargo that has ever been recovered from the sea. The excavation will resume when the rough weather season passes. 3. The Whydah Galley Shipwreck. The Whydah Galley treasures are worth about $400 million. It is the only pirate ship that has ever been found. The Whydah was the flagship of Black Sam, a famous pirate captain. It was discovered by Barry Clifford in 1984. After many years of searching, its treasures are still being recovered to this day. More than 200,000 artifacts including cannons, coins, gold jewelry, and the ship's bell have been brought to the surface. Since 2007, a selection of the Whydah's artifacts has been on show in a traveling exhibition, sponsored by the National Geographic Society. Aptly named Real Pirates, the exhibit is incredibly popular. 2. The Atacha Motherlode Shipwreck. The Nuestra Señora de Atacha treasures are reportedly worth between $400 to $450 million. It was carrying jewelries, indigo, silver, gold, and copper when it sank off the Florida Keys in 1622. The treasure on this legendary ship was so vast, that it took 2 months to painstakingly record, and load it before the ship could depart along with the rest of the Spanish fleet. Although the Spanish tried to locate the wreck, it was never found. In July 1985, after scouring the seabed for almost 17 years, Mel Fisher discovered the Atacha and her fortune. To this day, the wreckage site is still being explored and excavated as the stern castle, the most valuable part of the ship, has yet to be found. 1. The Black Swan Project. In 2007, Odyssey Marine Exploration flew 17 tons of Gibraltar coins, reportedly worth about $500 million to an undisclosed address in the U.S. Their newly discovered shipwreck was located in a lane, where many colonial-era ships floundered, and they were uncertain as to nationality, size, and age. Due to the uncertainty, and other security concerns, they did not release the wreck site, nationality, date, or type of the coins. The treasure haul was the largest to date throughout the world. Experts called the find unprecedented and without comparison. It wasn't long before the Spanish government filed a claim against the cargo, claiming that it came from the Nuestra Señora de las Mercedes, a Spanish frigate that was sunk by the British in 1804. In 2008, a U.S. federal court ordered Odyssey to disclose the location of the wreck site. The location appeared to rule out Nuestra Señora de las Mercedes, but after 5 years of litigation, the courts ruled in favor of Spain and the treasure was flown back. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video.